Alright, so good day everyone. We are the group 2 of Ma'am Liliata's report, and in this recorded discussion, we are going to discuss about the science, technology, and nation building. So first of all, I just want to make an apologies if you may hear unnecessary voice or unnecessary noise being included into my recorded discussion. At the same time, I hope that my voice and words are clear because I have a cough and running nose in this present time. So I'm very sorry for that. So now, supposedly we're going to have a recap if we're having a face-to-face discussion, but sadly to say we are being said to have a recorded discussion. So in this part, we are going to skip this one. So class, to formally start our discussion or for our recorded discussion, let's have our learning objectives. So at the end of the report, the class are expected to first discuss the role of science and technology in Philippine nation building. Second, we have to evaluate government policies pertaining to science and technology in terms of their contributions to nation building. And lastly, we have to identify the actual science and technology policies of the government and appraise their impact on the development of the Filipino nations. So those are our learning objectives, class. So even though we are having this online discussion, we hope that I hope that at the end of the class, we attained these learning objectives. So we hope so. Alright, so for our introduction class, this lesson will discuss the influence of SNTR, stands for Science and Technology, in the development of the Philippine society. So it identifies government programs, projects, and policies geared toward for the boosting of science and technology capacity of the country. So this report will also include discussion on Philippines indigenous science and technology. So class, in this recorded discussion or in this lesson, we are going to discuss the influence of science and technology in development of the Philippine society. So here we're going to learn kung unsalan man tong mga influences or mga factors na naka-affect naka-affect sa ato ang science and technology diri sa ato ang country in order to more develop and boost, no? So at the same time, in this lesson we are going also to learn to identify government programs, projects, and policies, no, toward the boosting of the science and technology dili sa atong country. So ato ang ma-learn dili kung ang mga rules, ang mga projects, ang mga programs programs kung the way or kanabitang mura og ila ang gi-implement para ma-sustain or ma-maintain or mas ma-develop pa ang ato ang science and technology dili sa atong country. So in this report also mag-discuss ta, or we are going to learn also of the Philippines science and technology in early Philippines. So today we also going to discuss the brief historical background of science and technology in the Philippines. So generally, atuan niling ma-learn ang history sa science and technology diri sa Philippines, no? Kung unsalan jud ang Philippines, kung unsa jud ang science and technology sa Pilipinas in the early Philippines. So So in this, according while searching, so I discovered that the early Philippines had already science and technology. No, their science physically is more on medicine, while in the other hand, the technology is more on their survival. Or like for example, making their house, sila ang pangangap lifestyle, or sila ang pangangaso kana bitong iladyong daily needs or daily lifestyle, no, like katong maghimo silang mga pana, maghimo silang mga fishing rod and more. But when the colonizer came into our country, most especially the Spanish period and the American period, mura og nakatag silang influence and impact sa science and technology sa atong country nga para mas mo develop or mas mamold ang atong science and technology diri sa ato ang country. So we have here pre-Spanish period. So science is embedded in the way of life of the Filipino. Of the people. So science sa una kay as what I said earlier, that they are more on embedded sa ila ang life, kung unsa ang ila ang way of living, no. So in this period, no, ang science nila is more on their medicinal, more on planting trees and animals, no. Ang ilang science is murag ilaang way to learn the sickness, to heal wounds, to heal their mga unsalan pa ang ilaang mga gipangbati or labi na sa ilaang lifestyle na jud. So early Filipino sea settler were already using certain plants and herbs as medicine. So as what I said earlier. So in pre-Spanish, so the scientific knowledge is observed in the way they plant their crops as food. So in the early Philippines, also class that in pre-Spanish, their science is being used for the scientific knowledge in observing their crops, their plants, or any plantation or any crops nga maybe their science is naana sila, like for example pesticides, no. But by the help of the science in early Philippines, no, this may help them to properly and to make their plants and crops healthy, no, when it will grow, no, kung manubo na sila, kung usapay lang mga pamaagi na pwede nila mapatambok ang ilaang mga tanom. And that is because by the help of the science or the scientific knowledge. So in pre-Spanish also, for the historical background of science in early Philippines, system of farming and animal raising were also implemented. So primitive Spanish, no, this is the time that the Spanish colonizer is not yet here, no, in our country. So before in early Philippines, so the evidence, no, it is really how reliable sources na the science and technology in the early Philippines had already existed. No, these are the proofs, no, kaning mga system of farming and animal raising were also implemented, no. So that is all about science, no, ang ilaang pamumuhay, no, because the main source of foods or the system of food in early Filipinos or in the Philippines is farming, crops, and raising animals. So maybe they already have science in propagating, no, such things or such investment ka rather kana mga inventions para mas ma-develop or mas mapalago ang ilaang planting and their animal raising. So next is you have also the science is observed in the way they interpret the movements of heavenly bodies to predict seasons and climate. So in the early Philippines, the science also is being used to observe how the movements the movements to interpret the heavenly bodies movement, then to also to predict seasons and climate. Like for example, in the real nowadays or in this contemporary or maybe before, the best example of this is the satellite. Satellite is being put or being nabutang dito sa outermost sa atoang sa planet. So atong nasa kinakababawan, these satellites can predict, or these satellites can help us to inform, to kanang predict na to kung unsalan tong mga moabot nga mga bagyo baron, mga climate and etc. So ang pinaka disadvantage lang ana is about satellites is about ang earthquake. And of course, there's no studies, maybe there's a studies nga di ta kaayo ka-predict kung kanusa mo abot kining maong earthquake. So early, so in the pre-Spanish, science is already observed to predict or to interpret the movements of heavenly bodies and to predict seasons and climates. In addition, for the historical background of science and technology in the Philippines, science also is being used in preparing the soil for agricultural purposes. So science also is observed and used also kay maybe in the early Philippines naana sila yung mga complements or mga substance or mga kuan nga pwede nilang i-mix ato nga soil aron mapatambok ang ilang mga agricultural plantation or agricultural crops. Kaya sa ato, for example, we can put compost, we can also put animal manure like taig baka and mga unsa patil mga pakpak sa humay, mga ingon anak bitaw, maybe they also use that then science, they use also that kind of way of being how the plants and crops to grow healthy, so science already is being observed in that time para to prepare for agricultural purposes, or maybe not just only plants, or maybe nasa mga fruits nga kailangan nila gigamitan nila og science around to make their production healthy. And also, in addition, we will going to talk the technology, so earlier nagtalk ta about sa science, and now we will jump into the technology. So technology before is used by the people in building houses, irrigations, and developing tools they can use in everyday life, so ako siyang naingon ganina nga ang technology sa Philippines sa una, or sa history sa Philippines sa una, ka ang technology is they mostly they mostly use it into building their houses, irrigations og mga tools nga ilaang ma-produce para magamit nila sa ilaang everyday life, most especially sa ilang source of life, which is hunting, so naay mga sibat, o as what you can see in the picture, naay mga sibat na siya, mga klase-klase nga sibat nga as their technology in hunting, in addition, develop tools often planting, hunting, cooking, fishing, and for fighting, and for musical instruments. So I already said that the technology is more on their living, and also for the musical instrument, so mostly kay sa early Filipinos, ang ilaang gamit sa una is mga traditional jod. So, musical instrument, it's come from woods, no, it's come from the bamboo pipes or any shells, no, or any animal's horn, no, and then metamorag ilang trumpet char. Wako kabalo, it's already existed, but technologies nila sa una is magamit nila for musical instrument, no? So para sila para for our understanding jud ang tools ang technology jud sa early Filipino is that kani jud ila ang mga gamiton para sa ilaang mga sila ang the way they live jud, no? Mo nang ang technology nila mura og kanang very helpful and vital in that early Philippines jud. So it is it is very understandable na jud about the science and technology in early Filipinos or in the early Philippines. And for the edition class for the brief historical background of science and technology in the Philippines is that different archaeological artifacts discovered in different parts of the country and also prove that the Metal Age also had a significant influence on the lives of early Filipino. Sophisticated design of gold, silver, jewelry, ceramic baby natal tools prove that their technological ideas help in the development of different tools and trade with China, Indonesia, Japan, and nearby countries. So it also have influenced their lives by providing different opportunities for cultural and technological exchange. Now, as we can see in the picture class being reflected on your screen, so those are the archaeological artifacts or mga made or mga artifacts or mga product nga made sa ato ang early Filipinos or sa ato ang mga ninuno, no? These artifacts being proven that the Metal Age is na as a significant nga influensya sa kinabuhi sa mga karaang tao or in the early Filipino, no? These artifacts also had different design, no? Ano sa mga design klase nga design with na siguro na like gold, silver, jewelry, ceramic, and na po na sa specific nga yes, na siya design, mga kurba-kurba, mga the whole characteristics sa usa ka pat or usa ka kana nga artifacts. And kani nga artifacts class is ilaan po nang gitrade sa different country as what mentioned above. And kani nga mga artifacts is naghatag po ni og influence para mas mo develop pa ang science and technology ay technological nga ideas or technological nga mga himo diri sa ato ang country, and this will also provide nga naka-exchange sa ato ang cultural and technological, and kanang naghatag siya daghan kayong opportunities in the early Philippines. So furthermore, class, when Spaniards colonized the country, they brought them their own culture and practices and established a school for boys and girls, introduced the concept of subject and discipline. So class, pag abot ko na aning mga colonizer, which is the Spanish colonizer, so ilaang gidala sa ato ang ilaang practices, cultural traditions ato ang country. And also they established a school para sa mga lalaki o babaye, and then they introduced the concept of subject and discipline. And also it is the beginning of formal science and technology in the country, known as School 2 Science and Technology, no? So kaning mga Spaniard colonizer class, mao ni ang gadala or mao ni ang nagpasimuno sa formal schooling sa science and technology diri sa atong country. Mao nang naata karon known school as science and technology. So these are murag lami, or these are the big influences being brought by the Spanish period diri sa ato ang country. And also, in Spanish period, science in school focuses on understanding concepts related to human body, plants, animals, and heavenly bodies. And their technology focuses on using and developing house tools used in everyday life. So it's so very understandable na, no? So, motto, ang science kay mag-focus sa understanding sa human body, sa mga plants, sa mga animals, o mga heavenly bodies. While we say also sa Spanish period, their technology focuses on using and developing house tools nga ilaang magamit sa pang-adlaw-adlaw nila nga kinabuhi. So class, for the brief historical background of science and technology in the Philippines, so we will jump into the American period. So American period also influence the development of science and technology in the early Philippines. No, so in American period, this period established the public education system, improved engineering works, and the health of condition of the people. So in American period, they are the one who established the public education system. Na this aims to improve the engineering works and the health condition of the people. No, kaya we all know that American country is mura bitaw sila og ang ilaang pinaka big deal is about the human health. And this period also established the Modern Research University, the UP, or known as the University of the Philippines, and created public school. So look at the picture. No, so these are the early Philippines in the American period. Yes. So ang mga teachers na ana, and of course ang mga teachers na ana, ang mga Tomasites ba tawag nila, o yun, nakalimot ko. These are, of course, ang ilaana is sila dyan nagtulo sa ato ang mga katutubo. O, diba? This picture is so nice sa panahon nila. So, ang ilang eskwelahan dyan, di dyan pareha sa ato nga, di semento, ilaa dyan kay nipa. Kahoy-kahoy lang. And also, the Americans did everything to Americanize. No, when we say Americanize, gusto nila nga mahimo sang parehason sa ilang country ang ato ang country, no, which is the Philippines. No, they Americanize the Philippines. So they recognize the learning of science and introduce it in the public schools and private. In basic education, science focuses on nature studies and sanitation until it becomes a subject known as science. No, so kadugayan na develop na jud ang kaning education, no, ay kaning education kaning science, no, which is kana na jud nahimo na jud ang subject which is science nga we are dealing on nature studies and sanitation. So look, so these are the laboratory in the American period, no? So they're making something like experimenting a medicine or something that they're able to sa may tawag nila kanang ilaang ma-improve ang ilaang community or ingon ana. So mao ni ang atong picture in the early American period. So, however, class, the World War II has destabilized the development of the country in many ways. Institutions and public facilities were turned into ashes. Houses were burned and many lives were destroyed. The country had a difficult time to rebuild itself from the ruin of the war. The human spirit to survive and to rebuild the country may be strong, but the capacity of the country to bring back what was destroyed was limited. The reparation funds focused on building some institutions and public facilities like schools, hospitals, and transportation system. The preparation money from Japan was also concentrated on building highways and in improving the technological training and human resource development in the country. So since the establishment of the new republic, the whole nation has been focusing on using its limited resources in improving its science and technological capacity. It has explored the use of ODA or overseas development allocations from different countries to help the country improve its scientific productivity and technological capability. Human resource development is at the heart of these efforts, focusing on producing more engineers, scientists, technological experts, doctors, and other professionals in the country. No, so it's in your own perspective, no, kung unsa na jud pag-abot sa World War II. So dako kayo ang damage sa ato ang country, no, dako kayo pinsala ang gibuhat sa maong World War II, no, tanan balay, tanan eskwelahan, tanan mga facilities, mga institutions ay mostly jud naguba, no. Then wala kabalo ang ato ang institusyon, atong government kung unsaong pagbalik sa maong science and technology diri sa Pilipinas. But the help of these mentioned, no, so slowly they overcoming the development of our science and technology until it was already rebuild ang technology and science diri sa ato ang country, no. So mas midaghan na ang mga engineers, mga scientists, mga technology experts, doctor, and other professionals in our country, no. So it's very mind-blowing jud ang hitabo kung unsay gidangatan sa science and technology, how it becomes ruined but suddenly it's become more prevalent and more powerful in this time, no. So class, as what you can see in the screen, it's a really tragic experience sa ato ang mga ninuno or mga early Filipinos nga nagpuyo during the war, no, the World War II. Grabe ning World War, no, di jud matabang look kung unsa ka-destroyed and ruin ang atong mga establishment diri sa ato ang country. That look, no, bisan unsa ka guba, bisan unsa ka gubot ang kalibutan, bisan unsa ka gubot ang country diri sa ato but as you can see, na develop lang gihapon ug mas na mold pa jud ang ato ang science and technology diri sa ato ang country. And so class, the development of science and technology in the Philippines, based on its brief history, is shaped by several factors and influences. Like in the history of science in other countries, it is always shaped by human and social activities, both internal and external influences. So, alright class, so these are the being influenced for the development of science and technology in the country. So, first we have the internal influence. So, the internal influence, no, so daara ang mahulog nga mga influensya. First, the survival, the culture, and the economic activities in the country. And for the external influence, we have the foreign colonizers, trades with foreign countries, and international economic demands, no. So the survival as internal influence, so as what I said earlier nga gigamit nila ang science and technology for their daily lifestyle, for their daily lives. So mura og mas na-improve pa ang ilang development in going beyond silang times, no. So the culture and economic activities, and for the internal influence sad katong mga foreign colonizers, so the Spanish era and the Spanish period, the American period, no. So these are the colonizers nga minghatag og big development sa ato ang science and technology diri sa atong country. And of course, trade with foreign countries. So akong katong gi-example ganina ng katong ang mga artifacts na ay mga artifacts na nag-trade dito sa laing country with sophisticated designs, and then international economic demands. So katong mga opportunities na akong giingon earlier, no. So those are the influences being influenced for the development of science and technology in the country. Alright, so class, the science and technology may have significant and vital impact on the lives of the people and in the development of the Philippine society. However, improving the quality of science education still remains as a big challenge in the country. School science from basic education to graduate education is improving slowly, and there are only few students enrolling in science and technology courses. No, so yes, if we are dealing into the reality class, frankly speaking, no, so gamay ra jud ang mga students nga nag-enroll or mikuha nga course about science and technology courses, no, because these courses is not just easy, no, it is very arduous kind of subject and courses, no. So maunang maybe there are a lot of students that being threatened, being afraid nga mukuha ani nga kurso kay basin unyag dili makapasar, basin unyag og dili makagraduate, no. So it's very, for me, I can't, no, I am not just belittling about myself, but in terms of that, murag wala jud kaayo koy idea, murag wala jud kaayo koy mura og forte ani nga klase nga kursuha, no. So that is the reality jud, no, nga bisan unsa ka importante ang science and technology sa ato ang country, still useless or still not power kay gamay raman ang mga tao nga mokuha og ingon ani nga kurso, kay lagi we have also a different reason in dealing in terms of this field. Right, so class, those are the information about the brief historical background of science and technology here in the country. Those era, the period, the Spanish period and the American period, the internal and external influences, and the science and technology in early Philippines, no. So I hope you will learn something about it. And now, in order for you to really have the knowledge and listen to this recorded discussion, let's have a reflection, no. So I want you to answer this one in your own idea. I want you to answer this one in your, just keep it in your own, because maybe I will ask you someday or anything or anytime. So first, how does school science shape the science and technology in the country? And next one, what can you say about the state of science and technology during the Spanish and American period? So these are the two questions for your reflection class. And now we will jump into another topic, which is the government policies on science and technology in the country. So, Miss Jonavie Buscabos will give us further information and insight about in this topic. So, Miss Jonavie, please take the screen.
So thank you, Mr. Bongo. And for my topic, I will be discussing about the government policies on science and technology. Government policies on science and technology. The Philippine government introduced and implemented several programs, projects, and policies to boost the area of science and technology. And ang goal nila is to prepare the whole country, our country, which is the Philippines, and sa tao to meet the demands of a technologically driven world and capacitate the people to live in a world driven by science. To advance science and technology, the Philippine government established and put into effect a number of programs, projects, and policies. And the objective is to empower the populace to live in a society driven by science and to equip the entire nation to fulfill the needs of a technologically advanced world. Padilla Concepcion reported that in 2015, in response to the Asian 2015 agenda, the government, particularly the Department of Science and Technology, or the so-called DOST, has sought the expertise of the National Research Council of the Philippines to consult various sectors in the society to study how the Philippines can prepare itself in meeting the Asian 2015 goals. The NCRP is anticipated to recommend policies and initiative as a consequence of the consultation that will increase the competitiveness of the Philippines in the Asian region. The NCRP clustered these policies into four, namely, first is the social sciences, humanities, education, international policies, and governance. In this, it includes the integrating Asian awareness in basic education without adding to the curriculum. Second is emphasizing teaching in a mother tongue. Like for example, in elementary nowadays, na sila subject nga mother tongue. Karon, and then mostly in vernacular language na ang gamiton if magtudlo or mo-explain ng usa ka teacher ngadto sa usa ka estudyante. And also developing school infrastructure and providing for ICT broadband, which is very helpful for teacher and students. And lastly is the local food security. So the second policy is the physics, engineering, and industrial research, earth and space sciences, and mathematics. In here, it emphasizes degrees like college degrees or licenses and employment opportunities. Second is the outright grants for pair monitoring. Third is review of Republic Act 9184, which is the Government Procurement Reform Act, requires all procuring entities implementing government infrastructure projects to evaluate the performance of their contractors using the NIDA-approved Contractors Performance Evaluation System, guidelines for the type of project being implemented. And lastly, the harnessing science and technology as an independent mover of development. So the third one is the medical, chemical, and pharmaceutical sciences. In here, it includes the ensuring compliance of drug manufacturing firms with Asian harmonized standards by full implementation of the Food and Drug Administration. Second is the creating an education council dedicated to standardization of pharmaceutical services and care. Third is empowering food and drug agencies to conduct evidence-based research as pool of information. Third is allocating 2% of the GDP to research, also legislating a law supporting human genome projects. And last but not the least in these policies is the biological sciences, agriculture, and forestry. In here, it includes the protecting and conserving biodiversity by full implementation of existing laws. Also, the use of biosafety and standard model by Asian countries. And promoting indigenous knowledge systems and indigenous peoples conservation. Lastly is the formulation of common food and safety standards. Upon that, there are also other existing programs supported by the Philippine government through the DUST. Some of these projects are the following. So first is the providing funds for basic research and patents related to science and technology. The government funds basic and applied researches. Funding of these research and projects are also from the ODA or the Overseas Development Aid from different countries. Second of this project is providing scholarships for undergraduate and graduate studies of students in the field of science and technology. Saloma in 2015 pointed out that the country or atuang nasod kay nanginhanglan or kinahanglang mag-produce og mga doctoral graduates in the field of science and technology and mag-produce og mga research nga naa sa field including the engineering. Also, mag-establish og lain pa mga branch of Philippine Science High School System for training young Filipinos in the field of science and technology, and creating science and technology parks to encourage academic and industry partnership. Some also of this project are the Balik Scientist Program. It is one of the program that was supported by government. This program is to encourage sa mga Filipino scientists nga naa sa abroad to come back home in the Philippines and work here or magkandak og mga research and projects in collaboration with Philippine-based scientists. Also, lastly, the establishment of the National Science Complex and National Engineering Complex within the UP Diliman or the University of Philippines campus in Diliman. And ang kaninga project is nag-aim ni siya nga mag-develop og daghan pang science and technology and engineering manpower resources nga gikinahanglan sa tuang nasod. And also nag-aim ni sila o sad ni siya og pag-produce pag kanang lain research or more researches nga naa sa atong field. The Philippine American Academy of Science and Engineering identified several capacity building programs such as establishment of national centers of excellence, manpower and institutional development programs such as the Engineering and Science Education Program to produce more PhD graduates in science and engineering. Also, the establishment of regional centers to support specific industries that will lead the country in different research and development areas, and establishment of science and technology business centers to assist, advise, and incubate technopreneurship ventures. Lastly, they strengthen science education at an early stage through the Philippine Science High School System. In the field of education, several science-related programs and projects were created para ma-develop ang scientific literacy sa atuang nasod. Special science classes were organized and special science elementary schools were established in different regions. Aside from this, science and mathematics in basic education were continuously improved. The current K-12 education program is nila ang TVL, GAS, UMS, and also included ani ang STEM or the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics. Ang STEM is one of its major tracks in the senior high school program para mag-encourage og daghang students to enroll in science-related fields nga naa sa college. Lately, the Commission on Higher Education launched its Philippine-California Advanced Research Institute, or the PICARI project to allow several higher education institutions in the Philippines and some US-based laboratories, research institutes, and universities to work on research and projects related to science, agriculture, engineering, health, and technology. This project is hoped to strengthen the STEM competitiveness of the country. There are many other areas and fields that the country is looking forward to embark on various research and projects. The following are some of them. 1. Use of alternative and safe energy. Like for example, the solar, wind, hydroelectric, biomass, and geothermal power. Muna sila ang mga alternative energy. Second is the harnessing mineral resources. This project has provided practical advice for policymakers on how to leverage newly discovered natural resources for improved human development. Third is finding cure for various diseases and illnesses. Kaniya mangitag tambal or mga treatments sa mga sakit-sakit. 4 is the climate change and global warming. Kining climate change is nag-refer to the increasing changes in the measures of climate over a long period of time, including the temperature and the wind patterns. In global warming, it refers to the rise in global temperatures due to mainly to the increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. 5. Increasing food production. Pangitagway unsaon pag-increase or rise sa atong food production. And then 6. The preservation of natural resources. Preservation protects the environment from harmful human activities. For example, conserving a forest typically involves sustainable logging practices to minimize deforestation. So, number 7, coping with natural disasters and calamities. Kani unsaon nimo pag-cope up sa imo mga nasinati nga mga kalamidad. Lastly, infrastructure development. It involves improvement of the quality of the various components of infrastructure such as roads, power, ICT, water, and sanitation. The Philippine Congress has also created various laws related to science and technology. As you can see in the picture above, that is the development of science and technology policies in the Philippines. As shown in the diagram, the development of policies in science and technology is shaped or influenced by several variables. Policies need to be aligned to national goals, consider international commitments based on legal frameworks, and respond to various social needs, issues, and problems. Science and technology policies ensure that the whole country and all people will experience the progress that science can bring. Policies are guides to direct all efforts to a goal of developing a scientifically advanced country.
Famous Filipinos in the field of science. So, the school sign is filled with names of foreign scientists: Einstein, Galileo Galilei, Newton, Faraday, Darwin, and many others resident scientists. We rarely hear of Filipino scientists being discussed in science classes. Lee Chua. Lee Chua is identified 10 outstanding Filipino scientists who have made significant contribution in Philippine science discipline like agriculture, mathematics, physics, medicine, marine science, chemistry, engineering, and biology. So, the ten outstanding Filipino scientists are there are contribution in Philippine science discipline. First is Ramon Cabanos Barba for his outstanding research on tissue culture in Philippines Mingo. So his one outstanding research is Philippine Mingus. Second is Josefino Casas Comiso for his works on observing the characteristics of Antarctica by using satellite image. So one he used is satellite image so that they can observe the characteristics of Antarctica. Third is Jose Bihar Cruz Jr., known internationally in the field of electrical engineering, was elected as officer of the famous Institute of Electrical and Electronic Engineering. So, Jose Bihar Cruz is one of us as elected officers in the famous electrical and electronic engineering. Third is Lourdes Hansui Cruz. He is notable for her research on sea snail venom. So the fifth is Fabian Millard Deret for his research on herbal medicine. So he used a herbal medicine for his research. Six is Rafael de Neras Quirino III for her research on tilapia culture. So seven, Enrique Mapua Stria Jr. for investing the meconium drug testing. Who he is the one to invest the meconium drug. So the eighth is Lilian Formalijo Patiña for doing research on plant biotechnology. So as you can see in the pictures, these are the example of what she doing about the research. So the ninth is Marie Ho Panganiban Ruiz for being an outstanding educator and grapturist. So Marie Jo Panganiban Ruiz is an outstanding educator and grapturist. So the tenth is the last, Gregory Ligo Tangunan for his research in the field of communication technology. So there are the other four outstanding Filipino scientists that are recognized here and abroad for your standing contribution in science. So the first is Kisar E. Saloma, and he is internationally renowned physicist. The second is William Padulina. He is chemistry and a president of National Academy of Science and Technology or NAS in the Philippines. So the third is Edgardo Gomez. He also a famous scientist in marine science. And the last is Angel Alcala. Angel Alcala is a marine science. So, as I have mentioned earlier that there are many scientists in the Philippines, but there are so many other scientists in the Philippines who are I did not mention or identified in the list yet, but in the Philippines we need still need more scientists and engineers so that we can discover new things or new idea in the Philippines. And there is a need to support scientific research in the country. The University of the Philippines Los Baños is a science paradise for agriculture, forestry, plant and animal science, and veterinary science. So, in the Los Baños Philippines Los Baños, it has produced numerous scientists and various research in the field mentioned. So many of the Filipinos are Filipino scientists or products of good school science. So they have good products in every school science. So it means they were taught and inspired by great teacher. So every Filipino scientist is inspired by great teachers. So their interest in science started to manifest during their childhood years. Their natural environment ignited their curiosity to learn more about the natural and physical environment. So schools and the laboratories where they studied and worked nurtured these. So you can see in the chart that this is the example of work nurtured by this. So these factors that influence the development of Filipino scientists. So there have many Filipino scientists whether they are in the country or in the abroad. So they always excel in their job. The Filipino spirit in their soul has never faded. They continue to bring honor to the country. They make ordinary things or and in their extraordinary way. So either the Filipino scientist is in the country or in the other place, they always excel in their job. So the summary first is this lesson discussed the influence of science and technology in the development of the Philippines as a country. Even more, the time of Spanish colonization in the Philippines, various people and communities already practice science. So, the second is the growth of science and its development as a field in the country is a hybrid of indigenous foreign ideas. So the last is, through the years, many Filipinos were able to establish themselves as scientists and science educators in various scientific areas and fields. So the invention and innovation were done by these Filipino scientists. Finally, the demands of globalization, especially the ASEAN economic agenda, prompted the Philippines to invest in science and technology programs and projects. That's all about famous Filipinos in the fields of science. Thank you for listening. God bless.